that's a new one, forget that. Okay. Hey, welcome. We're almost done for the week. Oh, it's always fun. I like saying that for some reason, I guess. Makes me feel powerful. Jose's sitting right there. I've got stuff for you over there. They'll be back. Let's see, that would be... Zach. He'll be back. I'll see him later on. He's actually coming in for me to tutor him later on. Yeah, that should be back. Okay. Obviously, he's not attached at the hip with his, or else he'd know it. I've been known to leave mine over here, my phone. I leave the mouse over here regularly and have to come back and get it. Or I steal one from the writing center that's right across the hall from me, and then I'll stop and get it before I head home. Because I like a wireless mouse. You know, when it's attached to the computer, you got that limit. You know, sometimes you have to really work your way through stuff too, so, okay. Oh, what? Why am I hitting his? I should be looking at mine. Okay. Oh. Hey, Dante. How's it going? It's exciting? Yeah. Okay. We're doing grammar today. It's up here. I said, if nothing else, I would see you later on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's Zach. Zach, say hi. Okay. I'm trying to drop out the students who never come to this class, and they say you're supposed to check a box that says never attended. I can't find the box that says never attended, so it's like, okay. Go to census. Okay, let me go back in there then. Census. There's no census to certify for this class. Oh, I need to send in. Well, maybe it's not good until, wait, hold on. Click on 2021.
Did you see me get pulled over last week?
No. Dude, that must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was
Click on the census.
yeah, it was like that.
Click on 2021 FA.
Like a cop. They just like, so you know how they.
There's no 2021 FA.
Right.
Okay.
Turn to like the eight.
Okay.
Turn this way and turn to the right. Yeah. You know, it's like coming from the building 2, and I was trying to exit, but the cop was like, wait, the cop was parked at the business center. And I had stopped, and I even checked, and I saw him get into cars. I was like, okay, and he was like, no, he was the only one.
Oh, hey guys, we got to start. Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, yay! So our last day of class for this week, except just as the beginning, you have Grammar Quiz 1 over comma splices, fuse run-on sentences. You have that on Friday. It opens up at 8 a.m., it closes at midnight. You need to take it on Friday. You will not find it there on Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday. So you got to be sure you take it during the times between 8 a.m. and midnight. You got your book. Isn't that easier than having to flip back through pages? You can just go to the week you need, in a way.
I mean, it's the other way, but I understand.
Yeah, okay. I think it's cool. Okay. They've told us to do this, but they haven't given us what we need to do it. Let me try. Let me look at something real quick. I handed out some pages to you guys over comma splices and fuse run-on sentences. Remember, when you take that grammar quiz on Friday, you can actually use whatever I've given you to help you on the quiz.
Oh, really?
It's called, yeah, oh really? Yeah, because if you can figure out something's wrong and you have information and are able to figure out wrong, that's a skill. I'm not asking you to perform surgery on somebody by looking at a page over here, but when doctors do some major surgeries, they will have information if they need it. But they've done enough that they're okay. I just wanna try something else to see if,
And that would be grammar test 1 on Friday?
grammar quiz 1. And it'll show up in week 3, so make sure you're there. Let me click census. Yeah, there's no way I can't do anything just yet, so, all right, it's not me screwing up, it's part of what's going on here. So let's look at, but we need to finish those previous pages, right? We didn't get those done? Am I right in thinking that? Have we done any of them?
No, we haven't.
We haven't done any? Okay. All right, so we're gonna look at the grammar, let's look at the one that says, few sentences also run on, you got it last week. It's the one that says grammar worksheets, it has a link to it, so you can go look at it. Tells you what a fused run-on sentence is. As you scroll down, it's got all the ways to fix them. And then the worksheet begins with Janine's uncle. We have that? You guys have that post, Morton? I'm hoping. We're gonna go through these quickly, because I've got 2 extra sheets. Did you find it, Morgan? Yes. Okay. All right, so the first sentence is, Janine's uncle never graduated from high school. He started his own landscaping company at 16. So, this is a fused run-on sentence, because you've got one long one. Your first dependent clause ends right here. Whoops, let me hit draw. It's right there. So you need something between school and he. He started his own landscaping company at 16, complete thought. Everything in front of it is a complete thought. So you can do a period and a capital letter. You can do a comma and the conjunction and, or you could do comma and so, not and so, comma, so. So he started his own, I don't know if that's a direct relationship, but and might be better. Because when you use a coordinating conjunction, they add meaning to the sentence. If I use a semicolon, think of it as being like an equals. Semicolon means the things on both sides are of equal weight. He never graduated from high school. He started his own landscaping company at 16. He was probably, obviously, fairly successful. So that's why semicolon says they're of equal value. And I don't need to create a relationship between the two. But you don't want to do every sentence with a semicolon, because that's boring. Patterns of writing are not fun to follow like that. And you'll notice that on some of your work, I maybe said unhelpful repetition. When you repeat words, it gets boring. Because you're not Martin Luther King writing, I have a dream speech, okay? All right. Did you find this one yet? Okay. Number 2, I have had a Mac computer for a year already. I have no regrets about buying it. So your first independent clause is, I have had a Mac computer for a year already. You wouldn't say, already, I have no regrets about it. I have no regrets about buying it. Comma, and I have no regrets about buying it. Let's see. You could go semicolon, moreover, comma, moreover, I have no regrets about buying it. I've had the Mac for a year, and I really like it, is what that moreover puts in there. Are you still looking for this? Yeah. Okay. I've got some extra copies up here. Let's see where this, let's see. The fused run-on sentences, here we go. I know I've got that. Okay. I'm just about out of everything else right now, though. Yeah. All right. I like moreover because it says this is true, and even better is this. Moreover, that's what that indicates. People make their way across the desert. They arrive in trucks with little ventilation, and they are often beaten by the men who smuggle them. The first one ends right here. First independent clause ends there. People make their way across the desert. They arrive in trucks with little ventilation, and they are often beaten by the men who smuggle them. You could go semicolon, sometimes they make their way in trucks with little ventilation, and they are often beaten by the men who smuggle them. that sounds that sounds like it would work. It sometimes, it doesn't happen every time, but see how that throws that in there? You could go, I don't know if I would say therefore, or put a semicolon. I would do, well, you could put the semicolon, but I think I'd throw sometimes in there, just to make the sentence interesting. It's about better writers. I was reading somewhere last night that better writers, make their, what they do is they've figured out how to make their writing intriguing, interesting for people to read. And the documents we're looking at right now, Mateo, they are also in the grammar unit and course resources. The two that were sitting on the table when you got out here, those are not in there. Because I just found those late yesterday, so. These political victories add up. It's not just money, but dignity at home and on the job. Well, they gave you a clue here because they have a capital letter after, and that's it. That's a clue. It's, and they should have corrected it before they created the document. I don't know how these political victories add up. It's not just money, but dignity at home and on the job. I don't know how those are related. So I don't know if that's, I would put a period in a capital letter, because I don't have enough of what's going on in this paragraph to be able to tell what that relationship is really meaning. That's how I would fix it. The good news is you don't have to fix it. On Friday, you select true if there is no grammar error in the sentence. You select false if there is an error. That's all you have to do. So what we're doing right now is harder than what you have to do. Okay? I was going to make it multiple choice and have A be comma splice, B be fused run-on, but I couldn't just have two options on my multiple choice. I would have had to go C, no option, D, don't pick, And there would be some goober who would pick C and D. So that's why I went with true false. Immigrants can be sentenced to prison. Most are sent back to their native homelands. Let me get that out of there. So it ends right here between prison and most. It felt like, for some reason, it felt like Mexico was doing that with the U.S. Hey, let's just dump trucks at the border and let them see how many they'll take. Or, that was kind of the impression we were given by our politicians. Not that it's necessarily true, but,
I came across in a truck.
You came across in a truck?
The same truck I drive.
How old were you?
I was 2.
2? You don't remember it, do you?
No.
Okay.
But they just told me that at the border, they gave me medicine, I fell asleep, and they legit took me under the seat.
Cool. You could have written about, I hope you write your narrative, you could write your narrative about that. You know what I'm saying? So did your family come straight to this area? Did they have family here already?
Yeah, so my grandparents, they had moved to the United States a year or 2 before we did, and then my mom and my dad got into an argument. We left Mexico. We stayed with them for about 3 or 4 years.
But your parents are not together, right?
No.
So did you come with your mom?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. I have to know the whole relationship, obviously. I'm nosy. I apologize. All right, number 6. Jamal's supervisor installed a new fingerprint reader when employees arrive. They must enter an employee number and place their index finger on a small sensor. Okay. Jamal's supervisor installed a new fingerprint reader. That's for you to let you know when they get to work. Don't you hate that when you have to clock in? So if you're like 30 seconds late, they know it, and they tell you about it. Thank heavens I haven't had to clock in 30 some odd years. Because they'd get on me for getting here at 8:20 this morning. So 40 minutes early. Okay. So you figure out what to do. So you've got, this is a fused run-on. The teacher distributed several worksheets. Some of them were taken directly from the textbook. You have 2 independent clauses right in between here. See, it's warming up, so I gotta take my sweater off. Are you hot in your sweatshirt? Okay. Comma, and some of them were taken directly from the textbook. Yeah. That's the easy fail. See, I don't have textbooks, so I just go and find exercises online that are easier to deal with, to print off. I don't want to have to create everything from scratch. Amar Chang has a goal in 14 consecutive matches. He is 3 shy of the record. If he's got a goal, what sport is he playing?
soccer or football?
Well, depends on what part of the world. We call it soccer, they call it football.
Okay.
Okay. You could put comma, so he is 3 shy of the record. That gives you some information. It would work. The dog jumped and barked near the lake. He noticed an alligator swimming towards shore. This is a fused run-on. The question is, where does this go? Here's your first independent clause. Here's the second independent clause. Starts right here. So you have to figure out, where does near the lake go? The dog jumped and barked near the lake? Or did near the lake he noticed an alligator swimming towards shore? Which is it?
Can you repeat that real quick?
The dog jumped and barked is a complete thought. He noticed an alligator swimming towards shore. The question is, where do you put your punctuation? Was the dog doing that near the lake, or was he near the lake when he noticed the?
Near the lake.
So you're saying, when he noticed, so you say, Dante says near the lake should go next to he noticed. It's, I don't know, because he could have been jumping and barking near the lake, semicolon, equal value. He noticed an alligator swimming towards shore. And if he's a dog on the shore, when the alligator comes up, he's not your dog anymore. That's food. They consider dogs food. That's why you have to be careful in Florida, right? Okay. So this one, good. I'm not asking you to fix it. That's the good news, all right? So let's look at, there's one also called comma splices. I don't have any more copies of this one, sorry. I don't think. But you can look at it online. I've got a lot of adverbial clauses and narrative outlines. That's it. Let me see. No, that's all about writing. Okay. So, let me make this bigger. Oh, what? Guess who hit the wrong button? Okay, here we go. This is the one about Robert ate worms. Mary dislikes Robert. Remember talking about that one at all? I know we had to cover so much last Wednesday that we didn't have time to do a lot. How do you fix it? You have to have a conjunction with a comma splice. You have to have a semicolon. You can use a subordinating conjunction. Remember, I didn't talk about fanboys with you guys? Okay. If you've got this document, I'm sorry you don't have it. I handed them out last week. So, on that one document about this document, or on any of them, if you will write down very clearly, fanboys. Come over here for a second. It's an acronym. For the coordinating conjunctions. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These are coordinating conjunctions. They are the only conjunctions that get commas before them in a sentence. That's why this and the AWUBIS handout are important. So, commas go here, they go in front of them, not after them. I don't want to see but with a comma after it, okay? That's the wrong place. And it's not like you're writing dialogue, but you want to indicate a pause, the character's going to say something. That's not when you're writing this way, we're not doing that. So coordinating conjunctions, only ones that have comma before them. Okay? And if you've got that, then when you see a comma, the first thing you do with a comma is you look and see, is there a coordinating conjunction after it? If there is not a coordinating conjunction, you might have a comma splice. Or you could have something else. You might have a dependent introductory clause. So if you've got that introductory dependent clause, let me say it right. An AWUBIS. Do you guys all have the AWUBIS page? It's the one that looks like this. The AWUBIS page. It actually gives you the acronym for AWUBIS. Then look, Mateo, no? I've got plenty of these, Mateo. Well, you guys don't have the Awubis? Okay. All right, then that means I did hand it out to you. Okay, sorry, I'll wander, I think this is, yeah. No, it's, oh, okay. All right, there we go. I think I printed it on Thursday, and that's why I didn't see you guys, so. All right, so, the reason you're getting the Awubis page, I'm getting chilly again, and the air conditioner's not on. Getting old is tough, I'm just telling you, it's really tough, all right? So, when you have, and it comes over here, they actually talk about it on this document. Use a subordinating conjunction, because, when, since, although, they just give you a few of them. Awubis is an acronym that stands for the first letter of those, all right? Because Robert ate worms, Mary dislikes Robert. Remember, the teachers told you don't begin sentences with because? But what will happen, you say, because Robert ate worms. That's not a complete thought. Because Robert ate worms, what? Mary disliked him. I would dislike somebody who ate worms, wouldn't you? I mean, I'm not real crazy about people who eat, liver. Ugh. Okay, so you see where we're going there. So the Awubis will help you. You need the Awubis because I could be sneaky enough to have used an Awubis phrase to begin a sentence and put a comma in, and then most people think, it's a comma splice. But if it begins with one of those Awubis words, it's not. Okay? My watch is telling me to breathe. Drives me crazy when it does that, because it vibrates. Okay, so they give you lots of good information there, huh?
That's why I know where I want.
Yeah, well, this is, not that I just like having it on, because I run, I keep track. All right, so remember, you can't use words like however and so just because they make grammatical sense. Those words mean something. So you got to be careful when you choose a subordinated conjunction or a conjunctive adverb. That's where they give you just a short list. All you have to do, if you're not sure about the conjunctive adverbs, is Google, what are the conjunctive adverbs, and there's tons of lists, okay? And so they explain a little, but then we have the sentences here. So each sentence below is wrong. It has a comma splice. This sure does, and it's right there. So when you look at that test, go and look at the commas. Is there a conjunction after it, okay? Sorry I don't have any more copies, but you guys, except for Mateo, have this, right? You weren't here probably the day I handed it out. That's what happened. And I thought I made enough copies, but somebody may have gotten a secondary one. People had trouble picking up pages. Are y'all missing this handout? Morgan, you got it? Okay, you don't have it? Hold on. Guess what I can do? I'll print. So you got... Okay. You have all the extra ones, okay. Awesome, good. All right, I won't print then, cancel, okay. Well, I thought I'd given you a stack of all the papers, apparently I missed some, my bad. Or just, if there's extra pages, give them to me. No point in having him stick with them, so. Yeah, all right. I thought I'd made nice neat stacks, apparently I hadn't. Okay, Eliza ran to the store, then she bought some candy. Look at that comma. Think what is on each side of it. If there's not a coordinated conjunction, each sentence below is wrong. Complete thought. It has a comma splice, and there it is right there. So this is a comma splice. Semicolon, or you could take it out, take out that comma and go, because it has a comma splice, would work also. So there's lots of ways to correct it. That's why I'm not having you correct them anymore, because it takes too long to grade those. It does, it really does, so I opted out of that. The stock market has moved in one direction lately. Semicolon, it has gone down, another comma splice. So you need something there. Elvis Presley was a great singer. He was never really accepted by the country music's mainstream. I didn't know Elvis Presley was considered a country singer. And I was alive for most of his career. So I might go semicolon, as a result, comma, he was never really. No, that doesn't make sense. Was a great singer, as a result, he was never, that doesn't make sense. So it'd have to be semicolon, however, comma, he was never really accepted by country music's mainstream. See how however works better? Or you could do comma
Taken
and
to
so,
Colorado.
so he was never really
They're going to
accepted.
accuse
Now,
you
that doesn't make sense
of
either.
perhaps
Uh-oh.
committing heresy,
Huh?
which was very, very,
You'd have to get rid of the comma. Well, hi. Hi, Smire, I'm not sure why you're part of our conversation here. We're doing English. What are you guys supposed to be in? How'd you know it was Smire? Did it say Smire?
It says Smire.
It said Smire up there, okay. Lost our group, let's see.
I mean, we can both do the same,
Have lost
from the very, very back, right?
our school and picked up Smire. Actually taught Smire. No, that's not Smite, it's Smire. Okay, so we're seeing about getting this corrected, okay? I'm not gonna teach you English right now. So, that's kinda crazy.
Yeah, one guy can't even hear us, he's got it.
Well, they're probably not supposed to be connected anyway. But they can see themselves. Okay. There's nothing like quirky deals.
Yeah, I don't think they even know that they're live.
Well, if the front TVs are not on, they don't know it. You wanna hear a funny story? When I was teaching at Newdale, I taught ITV and I taught Sudan and Last Buddy, and I'd have several schools along with the kids at Newdale. And so we had, stupid text to, voice to text. And, I had a student, a young girl, sitting on the front row, and she was wearing a low-cut shirt, and she's leaning over like this, and it's the camera shooting down. And I said, and one of the guys at the other schools held up $1. Yeah. I said, you might not wanna do that. Shh, it's doing it again. Okay, let's see. Matt Davis. I'm trying to guide the region. I hope he knows this is me. Oh crap, it didn't go through, okay. Okay. I'm gonna try to call the guy at the region. I've tried to back off of that, cause that's really not my job to call them, but I don't wanna have to wait. Okay,
I wonder which one of them is gonna play out.
hold on. All right, I'm trying to call Matt.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Matt, this is Patty Thompson at SBC. I lost my connection to Smire, to Post and Morton, and Smire is now in a connection with me. Yeah.
Well, I see, well, you're supposed to, I have Morton and Post in there.
But I'm seeing Smire.
Smire, hang on, let me look and see what in the heck.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Post
have
is here.
Smire in there. What, is
Oh,
that the
they just
classroom?
came back. Yeah, I don't know if that was an SPC or, Brooke is out today, but I text her anyway, so.
Okay, yeah,
I was just trying to cover my
on
bases.
end, it's been, cause I'm watching it, and it's been the same, but South Plains could have bounced or something.
Yeah, somebody bounced. We desperately need that new equipment, don't we?
Yes, we did.
Okay, all right.
Especially there, cause you're coming from Reese, right?
Yes, I'm coming from Reese.
Yeah, you guys need that real bad. Well, it's supposed to be on its way, so.
Cross my fingers,
God help
okay.
us.
Thanks, Matt. All right, bye.
Sure.
We talked a lot last year. Okay, hold on. Morton, I'm trying to get you that OIBIS document, okay? So you'll have it. Oh, isn't it amazing? I pulled up my attached document and there it was. Okay, it looks like, what happened?
I could not tell what's happening with the camera, but Yes, apparently.
We're not sure what happened to the connection, but we were connected to Smire for just a little bit, so that was kinda crazy. And they were just sitting there stretching, so. But at least they knew we were connected to Smire. I'm glad you guys were paying attention, 'cause I have to do multiple things. And sometimes I don't do any of them well, so. So you guys are my help. Let's see. Okay, now.
Yeah, so this is just having got filled there over there.
Well, I'm guessing that Mr. Rathburn was playing with the cameras, so, all right, I've sent that, Morton, you've got that coming, okay? I'm trying to, need to go back over here, we're trying to finish this one. We stopped when we lost you guys, 'cause there's no point in trying to teach it to Smire, okay? All right, Elvis was a great singer, he was never really, okay, we're down to computer programs to help us live saner lives. Obviously, the people who write them should make lots of money. Oh, I guess I've shot this one off now. Comma splice right there, semicolon, we worked fine. I don't know if I would connect, obviously, the people who write them should make more money. I don't know if that necessarily fits well together. I might do a period and a capital letter on that one. Dubai has built magnificent office towers with luxuries and conveniences. It is considered,
Maybe since they write them, they should make more money? A lot of money?
since but that becomes a dependent clause. Dadgummit. Yeah, since would work, 'cause it creates a relationship. I like that one, so that's a good way to change it. But you don't have to change it, except when you write. All right, it is considered a location in which to conduct international businesses. It's magnificent office towers. That's the place that has the palm trees. They've created the artificial palm tree in their Gulf, and they've built all these luxury hotels on it. Dubai, look up to Dubai.
No, I think I've actually been there.
You've been to Dubai?
Can't remember. Funny, 'cause I've lived there, and I cannot. Sorry.
Dubai is in the Middle East.
Okay.
Okay, I'm accepting that. Here we go. It's called the Jumeirah Palm Island, Dubai. So these are all actually homes, luxury hotels on that and around it. That was all artificially created. Sorry, just a little highlight, show you that there are other things out there, okay? Yeah, so on that one, it is considered, and you could delete, you could leave the comma in and just delete, it is considered, considered a great location and attach it that way. So there are a variety of ways to fix them, but it is a comma splice because of the it is. Brazil has won several World Cup championships, there shouldn't be an S there, in soccer. They are always considered a good team. Didn't they lose the last one though? Anybody a soccer fan? It's been enough years that I've forgotten. Comma so, all right. The Assam campus of Punjab University is considered excellent. It attracts many students. Comma, attracting many students, semicolon, it attracts many students, comma, and it attracts many students. So there's a variety of ways with English to put words together, or put sentences together. So think about that. What I want to do right now is I want to stop a second and go over and show you Chomp Chomp. I'm just checking time. Okay, Chomp Chomp is an online, I'm going to leave, and okay, let me get out of the, all right. So Chomp Chomp or Grammar Bites is what it's called. It's a great place to read these. So before you take the test on Friday, you might want to go to Grammar Bites or Chomp Chomp, because they have a shark on the front screen, so if you get it wrong. And you have to make the screen small so that you can see. I have to make it big so you can read. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go to comma splices. I'm actually in the exercises, I'm going to do comma splices and fused run-on sentences. So when you go in here, it gives you information. It actually shows you kind of a formula for what a comma splice is. See, it says main clause or independent clause. Those are interchangeable terms, main and independent. Plus a comma plus a main clause equals death. For some English instructors, that is very true. They'll take off a letter grade for every one you have. I don't do that. unless you have, if you have more comma splices than you have sentences, that's bad. You know, if you have, you know, even 15 is too many, you know, there's a point where it's just too much. A few sentences, though, will have a main clause without punctuation or anything, and then another main clause. So those are both major errors, is what they are. So you start here, and so they give you a sentence. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Julie is a real hypochondriac. When her stomach hurts, she is certain that she has a bleeding ulcer, and if she has a backache, she believes that she has cancer of the spine. So now you have to figure out, is this a comma splice? I see there's 2 commas in it. If you think that's what it was, you choose one door. If you think it's a fused run-on sentence, you choose the other door. So we go back and look at the sentence. Julie is a real hypochondriac. When her stomach hurts, she's certain that she has a bleeding ulcer, and if she has a backache, she believes that she has cancer of the spine. I'm going to say that this is a comma splice. I know the correct answer, but I'm not telling you guys. I'm just saying, I'm going to say comma splice. So I'm going to hit, it tells down here you have 2 doors. The left door is comma splice, the right door is fused run-on. It's slowly opening. I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. What happens is, as we wait for excitement to see what it's going to do, there's sound effects. So, it was a fused run-on sentence. Yeah, it did not contain a comma splice. So you've got a cow here. If you like cows, cool for you. So what it does give you, though, is when you get it wrong or when you get it right, it gives you an explanation of what was happening in the sentence. So I don't have to walk you through it. You can read. So see how it says, the comma splice occurs when 2 complete sentences are incorrectly joined. Julie is a real hypochondriac is one sentence. When her stomach hurts, she is certain begins the second sentence, which makes this a fused run-on error. So they give you an explanation. That's what I like about this, okay? So I'm going to go to the next one. My cat Buster loves to nap on warm appliances. When he sleeps on top of the microwave, his tail swipes the glass door like a windshield wiper. So Buster sounds like an interesting cat. And he's obviously not sleeping on TVs anymore because TVs are nice and skinny. They can't sleep on them. But when they were the big consoles, they got nice and hot on the top, okay? So we'll go, we said comma splice, we're going to say fused run-on on this one. So and that's the barn door. Wow! I want a wad of cyber cash. Yeah, the item was fused. So if you still aren't sure why you got it right, you can get the explanation either way. So there are 4 sets of exercises on comma splices and fused run-on. If you need to write it down, it's just GRAMMAR space BYTES. Okay? I'll just take you to the home page so you can see. See, they have a shark on the home page. Yeah, that's why they call it Grammar Bites, because grammar can really get you one way or the other. Okay, so that's available to you. You might want to spend just a little bit of time running through the exercises and checking. Make sure you have the handouts you're given because you can take those when you're doing the quiz, all right? Okay, so now I want to go, I sent new pages. Let me see, did I forget to send something else? It doesn't begin until tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Explanation. Oh, because?
I get to dress up at work.
Ah, Halloween? Are they starting Halloween stuff already?
Yeah, and we're actually doing our promotion for coupon we gave out just pretty much all the past month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much just saving $15 on a $30 purchase, but.
Oh, that's 50%. That's pretty good. All right, a hot topic, if you need anything, 50% off, but you have to have already been in and gotten the coupon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, sorry, only if you got one then.
But
All right.
buy one, get 30% off
Okay.
on everything.
Buy one, get 30% off? Okay. I don't shop a lot at Hot Topic, I'll be honest. It's a little too young for me. Though I like some of the t-shirts.
Yeah, I mean, just the clear That's the common misconception, is that it's only for young people or people of middle age.
Okay, you've got one from the Academic Achievement Center at, some university. I found this online. It's another example of fused run-ons. You got this one today, so everybody should have it, hopefully. They talk about a fused sentence, a comma splice strategy, how to separate the two independent clauses. They give you 4 ways to do it. I'm not gonna go through those. But in each sentence below, each sentence below consists of 2 or more independent clauses. So we're gonna do something a little bit different on this one. Place brackets, all you have to do is put brackets around the independent clauses and determine whether it is a comma splice or a fused sentence. You don't need to correct it right now. So I want you to work on these 10 sentences, okay? So you will put brackets, you know, brackets are the square, hold on, I can draw on this one, let me get to there. Draw. This makes me happy. Each sentence below consists of 2 or more independent clauses. So that's, you put brackets around that, and then you just decide if it is a CS or an FRO. It's hard to write this with a pencil, so. I'll give you about 3 or 4 minutes to do this, because we've got to get through the one specifically about fused run-ons too. They're the same, sorry. So don't correct it, just worry about getting the brackets. If you can identify independent clauses, you can figure out what you've got. So that's what this is working on, okay? Is an hour enough time for you to take these tests? This test, you think? All right, I'm gonna flip over here, because probably somebody didn't get something. Uh-oh. This is an actual picture of the Dubai. That is. Look at all those hotels on the base, the trunk of the tree, the palm tree. It's kind of cool.
Well, I'm concerned about is how do you fly there?
Well, that's just part of the town. Dubai is actually,
Where's the airport?
it's somewhere on where there's more land.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. Dubai is the world's busiest airport. It's on the coast. Just gonna get Okay, girl. Give you about another minute or so, 'cause you can do this pretty quickly, and if you didn't get it done, then you can just listen, watch what I do. I wish I had better access to sound from the schools, 'cause I'd like to involve the schools more. But as long as, what's going on is going on, it's a problem. Okay, so 10:40, we've just gotta go ahead and move on, all right, guys? So here we go. So number one, Ellen had her hands full taking care of Stephen. He was at the age where he was full of mischief. So your first dependent clause begins with Ellen and ends with Stephen. Notice I'm trying to not include the comma. The second independent clause is that he was at an age where he was full of mischief. So you have two joined by a comma, it's a comma slice, okay? So that's all you have to do is put a CS after that, okay? Number two, the sky turned gray bolts of lightning. The sky turned gray bolts of lightning flashed in the east, thunder rolled across the mountains. Boy, I read that and it didn't make a whole lot of sense, did it? The sky turned gray. Bolts of lightning flashed in the east. Now, in the east, thunder rolled across the mountains. Is that what it says? I've got rolled across the mountains. So I'm thinking that that's how this works. Now, I know contemporary fiction, a lot of publications, magazines, and newspapers out there that will put commas between these. That's still a comma splice. So the sky turned gray, and you need something there. So this is a fused run-on, FRO. When you get your papers back, that's what you're going to see. FRO stands for fused run-on. I don't have to write those letters out. It's a lot quicker for me to go FRO and CS for those errors. You might say the sky turned gray while bolts of lightning flashed and thunder rolled across the mountains in the east. See how you could make it one long single sentence? There's a variety of ways to fix this one, but I'm not asking you to fix. Americans are more conscious of the need for fitness. They have become active sports enthusiasts. They are more interested in good nutrition. They are aware of the need to reduce stress. So you have lots, huh?
For this one, I believe it's used, right?
Yes, this one? No, you got commas. Yeah, Americans are more conscious of the need for fitness, comma. They have become avid sports enthusiasts, comma. They are more interested in good nutrition, comma. They are aware of the need to reduce stress. There are 4 comma splices in that. That's 4 major errors in that sentence. You can't just have a comma. That has been a gimme in contemporary publishing, I'm going to say. So, but you need to do something. And maybe this is one where Americans are more conscious of the need for fitness, colon. Or I might go, comma, becoming avid sports enthusiasts, interested in good nutrition, and aware of a need to reduce stress. I would make a long list of what what Americans have done. I am bad about nutrition because I run so that I can eat what I want to eat, which is chocolate, so it's great. Television can be entertaining, it can also be boring. Another comma splice. They can both stand on their own. You could go semicolon, however, comma, it can also be boring. True. I know as a kid, and up until I was probably in my mid-30s, I thought the news was boring. I do not watch political things on TV. I think they're boring. But give me a cooking show. They started the Halloween baking championships on Monday, and I love watching those baking competitions. I'm never going to make that stuff, but I think it's fun.
Honestly, I love that.
Yeah, they're cool. All right, children learn from their parents' examples. Parents' behavior is an important part of their children's experience. What they've done correctly in here is given you plural possessives. Children learn from their parents' examples. Parents means you have 2 parents. If you've gone parent, comma, parent apostrophe S, that would be only one parent. Your mother or your father. You see the difference in there? So plural, right there. You have another one. Parents' behavior is important. There is another dependent clause. independent clause, important part of the children's experience. So you have two, this is a fused run-on. So that's a CS, this is an FRO. That one was a CS up there too, sorry. The life of a farmer is a lonely one. His opportunities to socialize are limited because of the constant attention he must give to the things he cultivates. I was intrigued enough that I said something about farmers. Isn't there a dating app for farmers? Yeah, there is. Farmers only. Is that, and so I actually went to the website, but I didn't show it. I said, is it so farmers can date farmers? Farmers only. Right? See what I'm talking about?
We actually made our ag teacher a farmer's only, and he ended up finding a match, and they are married, and they have a kid.
Awesome! The life of a farmer is a lonely one. There's your first dependent clause. His opportunities to socialize are limited. Please notice, you have an awubis word right there. Awubis. Because of the constant attention he must give to the things he cultivates. And notice there's no comma in front of it. But that might have made people think it was a comma splice, because kids put commas in front of because all the time. And I go, I'll cross it off. But it's not considered a major error. Okay? So, the life of a farmer is the only one, and his opportunities to cultivate. Just one long, actually this is a compound complex sentence, I believe. One independent clause, two independent clauses, and a dependent clause, so that makes it compound complex. You don't need to know that to have a good life. Didn't you have to do that in high school? Simple, compound, complex, compound complex, yeah. Like, yeah. It doesn't make you smart. It does, maybe. Oil imports are very expensive. There's your first one. We must learn to be economical. This is an FRO. Put that up there, my bad. We must learn to be economical in our use of energy. This is a CS. So, on the test, on the quiz, which is worth 25 points, check and see if there's a comma. Figure out what's on each side of the comma. If there isn't one, you'll have to decide whether it's a fused run-on, because I don't tell you if it's a comma splice or a fused run-on. You have to determine that out. But if you've got a comma, you're going to have to work around both ways. Advanced methods of communication have made the world smaller. People are brought closer together. We find ourselves with common interests. Advanced methods of communication have made the world smaller. There's your first one. There's a comma there. People are thus, so we already know it's a comma splice. Brought closer together. There's another comma splice, and we find ourselves with common interests. So, 3 CS's in one sentence. You can have a comma splice and a fused run-on in the same sentence. You can have both errors. The more
Your
you put in the
conference is
sentence, the more likely
scheduled
you
to
are
end
make a
in
mistake.
2 minutes.
Okay, we're almost out of time. Remember, you have your grammar quiz Friday. Use your sheets. And hopefully I can get through Thursday. I can get through it with everybody. Some scientists call the computer essentially stupid. Others fear its capacity to think. That sounds like a Terminator. That's an FRO. The last one is a comma splice. College freshmen need help in making the transition from high school. The size of most colleges can be a problem to new students. The sheer size. So that's a CS. Okay? Or did we get both of them done? No, we didn't get the other page done. This is the PDF. So, if you want to, let's see. Hang on, I can go over them very quickly for you guys, for the next one, okay? But you guys are gonna disconnect, so. Oh, those are my questions about the stuff I have to do. So we have, the next one is the Word document. Post, you can get some help. Morton, try working on them and see if you can figure it out. They're very similar in nature, these two worksheets. Let me open up that Word document. Why did I add that up? That was not the right thing to bring up. Okay. I actually put comma splice in September 14th so I could find the document quickly. All right. So it gives you the ways to fix it, and then you've got the question. So all you have to do is decide if it's a comma splice or see if the sentence is correct. Number 1, comma splice. Number 2, comma splice. On this one. You should have copies of this. So 1 CS, 2 CS, 3 is a comma splice also.
Your conference is now over.
If you want, if you
Goodbye.
need to leave, you can leave. You're not stuck. Although I understand 4 is correct. It has a wubis at the beginning of the sentence. Look how the light went out at Post. It's dark there. Last year, they would occasionally not come into class if the facilitator wasn't there. They would sit outside and not go to class. They were being snarky. That was the kids from last year. A comma splice occurs, This 5 is a comma splice. 6 is a comma splice. 7 is a comma splice. 8 is correct. So right now, there's only been 2 correct, which is number 4 and number 8. Number 9 is correct. So 4, 8, and 9 are correct. 10 is a comma splice. So everything else is a comma splice. 4, 8, and 9 are correct on this page. The rest are comma splices. Okay? So I didn't keep you too late. Okay. Y'all have a great weekend. And don't forget your narrative. Draft is due Sunday night, and you need to bring a copy Monday morning, because we're going to do peer revision. As you can do if you don't have access to a print on ink. If you get a few minutes early, there's an open computer lab down at the very end of this hallway. You can sign in there. Take you about 3 to 4 minutes to get signed in, but you can print a copy in there. And you can do it. If you've uploaded it to Blackboard, you can go back to where you uploaded and get a copy of it, okay? All these documents down here. I need to shut down. And not forget my mouse. There's nothing more frustrating than to do that. Like I left it at home one day last week. It was sitting on I thought either it fell out or I done something with it. No, it was sitting on the table where I do my work at home. Have a good weekend, okay?
All
So
right.
you're dressing up today? Do you know what as?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
I'm very indecisive, especially about.
So